Hey, what's up? It's your boy Negro Jones here. And yeah, I had to get back with you. That conversation was just getting really good, and so I had to keep going. You know I love doing this, so make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. We're gonna keep this going. But anyway, we were talking about the vril parasites, and told you to do a little homework. Probably didn't have time. I got a little anxious overnight, and had to jump back on here. But what you'll notice is that in looking at the vril parasites, you'll get several different illustrations or portrayals of this organism. Now, when you're looking at this parasite, the first thing that comes to mind for me is you guys remember back in the 90s, there was this little infomercial that used to come on really early in the mornings, like right before school. And it used to have this videotape of where they were advertising, I believe it was like footage on Mars before the internet and all this stuff. And they were talking about this microbial that was possibly found, and a myriad of other things. Interesting side note with that as well. Did you know that there was actually in Egypt on Mars? Yeah. So now, of course, we're all familiar with the concept of Pangea, right? The concept that all the continents used to be conjoined at one time. And so that's what they were advertising in this video, was just rare, unbefore seen footage of stuff that we see that is kind of household now, household images and footage. But back then, this was a fairly recent discovery. Now, I remember some articles and some advertisements that were non-related that came out later, and they were talking about the same thing. Could this microbial be the first step, first key to finding life on other planets? And, what are these mysterious megaliths that are found in exactly the geometric shape that is found on Earth? It was these type of questions. Now, if you guys remember this, comment in the section below. I believe the name of those findings were Tithonia and Cydonia on planet Mars, and that ran for a while, as I remember. But now, walk with me. We're going to move a little bit further down the line here to 1996, when X-Files finale is released, and it's called Fight the Future. Now, this was a season finale of a build-up that slightly covered the average episodes that would come on X-Files, but were actually narrowed down into a 4-box set. And I think it was like, the first one was like Black Oil, and these are all like a series within themselves, right? They're a compilation of a concentration of films, episodes that were done within the X-Files franchise that actually told their own story, right? So, and I think one of them, the first one was named Black Oil, and then the next one was like Colonization, then Super Soldiers, and I forget the fourth one, right? But, and I mean, it's almost like they're showing you the stages right there. So there's a scene in there where the smoking man, the guy who is notorious for giving Fox Mulder anonymous tips, in which he is able to go on and solve the case with, or get a lot closer to solving the case than he would without him. And he apprehends Mulder in this alleyway, and tells him about FEMA, essentially, and how there's going to be an emergency that's going to be declared one day when everyone's away from their homes, and all of the forms of government in all areas will come under this great jurisdiction called FEMA. And this is where, you kind of get the term the secret government, or the phrase is coined, the secret government. Now, before we go on, how many people have seen that? Comment in the section below. Let me know if you have. Because I thought it was really compelling, because here's a little bit of the plot summary, and it's totally not going to ruin it for you. This movie is incredible, and I encourage you to check it out if you haven't. If not, keep cozy. But the cool thing about the X-Files Fight the Future was that it showed how possibly an invasion might occur on a scientific level. Now, in the beginning, some kids were stumbling around, playing around outside in Texas, of all places, and stumble upon an underground tavern in which kid falls down, gets infected by this black oil. Later on in the film, the smoking man reveals to Mulder that certain measures had to be taken. There was an invasion happening that they couldn't stop, and the only way to ensure the survival of the human species was essentially integration. And not just integration, biological integration, right? I mean, guys, they've even got a jab in this thing, right? And they even use the term and everything. I mean, it's really eerie. Now, I'm running out of time for this segment, but let's look at some highlights real fast. Texas, right next to Mexico, right? Underground tavern, that's our Agartha Hollow Earth theory right there. And microbial parasites that can be transported through a jab. Now, listen, guys, that's my time, but I'm probably going to be back on here very soon. This is getting juicy. Be sure you like and subscribe. Make sure you comment. And as always, one.